Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your daily dust for, what is today? Today is Monday, so this is going to be for Tuesday, the 26th, if you're watching in real time, but it can also be for whenever you stumble upon it. It's a timeless reading as well. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I set up my altar with all the elements. So I have fire, I have water in my sage spray. Spray some of that. Oh, it's good. And I have the wind. The wind is actually working because of the fire. Isn't that fun? And I have earth with these beautiful geodes. And I am doing a reading, two readings. So one for your inner world and one for your outer world. And I have two decks, similar but different, by the same people. They made a third deck that's really different. It was kind of very star-like, and I didn't like the art as much, but I should get it anyway. But anyway, these were the decks that I was using like mostly for a long time. If back in 2019, around there, I was using these two decks quite a bit. And yeah, so they're Los Garbeo decks, and they are beautiful photorealistic type drawings and stuff. So I like them very much. I think the Telema one is, I call it Telema, maybe it's pronounced Thelema, but I pronounce it with a Spanish T or TH. And the Arcanum is kind of the same. It came out the year after the Telema, or later, and it's just a little bit sturdier, stronger. And these images kind of a little larger. Let me see if I can find the Emperor so you can see. I love this King of Swords. And there's this Emperor. See, so most of the people and people in this and the Arcanum are like kind of more zoomed in, generally speaking, in the deck. That's really mainly the only difference. And I found that this one is a little bit easier to shuffle, but I colored the edges on both of them, this one brown and this one green, and I think after I colored them that made it even harder to shuffle. Anyway, so let's start with your inner world. Okay, the inner world, this is going to be just your daily energy for Tuesday. What does Spirit want you to know about this day? Yeah, or it could be clues to the future, anything in the future. It could be anything that you resonate with. You could also take it like, the morning, the middle of the day, and the end of the day. Sometimes that happens too. All right, let's see. What do we get? All right, Queen of Swords. And Temperance, nice. And Nine of Wands, awesome. I feel like, very simply, it's just going to be an easy day, I think. And if we're going to take it like beginning, middle, and end of the day, so the beginning of the day, let's zoom on in and I'll let you know. Well, maybe we can do this here. Oh, it's kind of pretty, huh? Well, let's see. At the beginning of the day, it's like you have a bright idea and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And you're in your mind, you're in your thoughts, you're in your your intelligent power. You're using your reasoning to get things done, and not highly emotional, which in some days is a very necessary. It's like, I got to get through this day without getting like really emotionally attached to anything. I'm just got to be simple and straightforward and go for it. And Temperance is kind of like more of that. It's like a balance. It's a blend. It's moderation. It's not being too obsessive about any particular thing today, like doing little bits of things all day long that you need to do. It's kind of like this altar, like having little parts of every element in your life and how elements blend. Like, for instance, to get this mobile to move, you need air, and in order to stir up the air, you need the fire. And it's like everything kind of connects to everything else, you know, that like they're all important to each other. So I feel you determine the importance of every little thing that connects to each other, and all the steps that you take. And it could be very well that you're literally growing something, like a plant needs sun. It needs the elements. It needs sun. It needs water. It needs fertilization. It needs air to breathe. Plants are just like us, you know, it needs to be nourished. And so the Nine of Wands is giving me nourishment and growth and opportunities. Nine of Wands, generally speaking, is the wounded warrior and the person who needs to take a second breath and take a look around and see what's going on in their lives after doing a lot of work. So that's kind of what it is to me. It's not a big heavy energy. We have one major arcana. So in a major way, it's important to stay in moderation and in balance. But mostly I feel like today's going to be a very simple day of balancing your activities and your chores. And if you're wanting to create something, to make something grow, then it needs multiple elements. Also giving me recipe vibes, and like if you're cooking for Thanksgiving or something like that, even, you know, if you're making your favorite recipe, or if you're trying something new, it's going to take all these beautiful parts to come together. If you're cleaning for Thanksgiving, then it's important to take little bites. Don't do too much all at once, little by little, and you know, take your time, and it'll turn out really nice. Get a little bit more zoomed in. Yeah, and so that's kind of how I'm feeling. Nine of Wands is interesting that it's coming out with like, and it's maybe it's also a Christmas tree you're gonna put out. A lot of people wait until like after Thanksgiving, and some people put it out before Thanksgiving so they can have a whole Christmas theme for Thanksgiving celebration. So it's up to you, but this might be saying, yeah, maybe you should decorate your tree and put out a tree or whatever, some kind of decoration, some kind of creativity, some kind of I just feel like heavy work, like work that you're doing that you're just gonna have to do things in moderation and catch your breath when you have a chance, and not get too obsessive about it on this particular day. You're gonna get it all done when you're meant to, and so I don't know, it just feels like really nice energy. If it doesn't resonate having to do with holidays or Thanksgiving, then it's, you know, whatever you're doing this week, it's about taking your time, and it's gonna be okay. And also I'm doing this on the day before, on the 25th. Today Mercury goes retrograde, and so that's a little thing to consider, is sometimes Mercury retrograde frustrates us in certain areas if it feels like it's not going as quickly or as smoothly as we like it to go. So a little patience will definitely go a long way. You may have to go a little slower, or you might have to repeat certain steps if it doesn't go as smooth. So I feel like that kind of makes sense in lots of areas, in creativity or in baking or in things having to do with, you know, writing papers, or things having to do with things having to do with a computer or something like that. Like use your mind, use your head, take your time, be patient, If you don't succeed, try again. All right. So I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie does it. I'm moving on to the next reading, and you can come with me. And that will be the outer world and maybe some politics involved. All right. And here is second chapter, reading number 2 for the outer world. So let's see if anything's significant happening in the outer world for you on this day. This one shuffles much better. Okay. Take 3 from the middle. Ooh, love. Love incoming. Okay, Justice incoming. Sometimes I see Justice as Kamala because she's a Libra, and also was a prosecutor. And 6 of Pentacles. All right. Let me look at these a little bit closer. Ace of Cups is it's spilling over. Okay, this cup runs over, spilling all goodness that life has to offer. I'm feeling a very, Thanksgiving kind of energy, like being thankful and grateful. And I feel a lot of love in your, surrounding you. I also feel like, for people who, interesting, again, we have the 1 major arcana and the 2 minor arcana, just like reading 1. And the major arcana was in the middle also in reading 1. And the major arcana in chapter 1 was Temperance, which is a very similar energy to Justice, because Temperance can be about balance as well. But Justice is more about balancing, and not so much as blending, but balancing this and that. And so it can also be very similar energy of baking and making things and putting things together, weighing things, measuring things. So it's like where Temperance was all about blending ingredients, Justice could be about making sure you measure things correctly, that you have the right like teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever. So that's kind of like an extra inner world message. But I feel like if we're talking about maybe politics, I do sense a hush, a bit of a hush over the land, which is like, it feels kind of like the Whoville, after everything is correct. So, the Grinch stole Christmas. Oh my gosh. And so at the end of the, Grinch heart grows, and then he brings everything back, and then all the Whos are in a big circle holding hands and singing. And so I'm kind of getting that energy for some reason, even though that's not like maybe what our reality we're living exactly. It's going to be what we're going to be doing this week. It's almost like I'm feeling kind of a manifesting energy. And if you'd like to manifest your, a political wish come true that maybe didn't come true for you, I think if you're here, you're probably not a person who wished for the results that came out. So unless you're a troll, but if you wanted the results to be different, you can manifest a different outcome. And I feel like another outcome is out there. And so I've been watching these really nice psychic ladies, Rosie and Karina. I don't know if everybody watches it, but you can check out my playlist, the post-election playlist of psychics and spiritual people that will help us. I mean, they've been helping me get through this period. The news doesn't help, right? News just makes you frustrated. News to me is like is trying to get us outraged, and I don't want to be outraged anymore. I'm tired of being outraged, I want to find a peace within myself, and I feel like that's what's happening this week. We're all feeling kind of a peace within ourselves, no matter what's happening on the outer world, really. So Tuesday sort of starts that that sort of peace within ourselves, that justice is but justice, like this knowing that everything will right itself. And it's interesting because of the Six of Pentacles. Also, he's got a scale and he's measuring things and weighing things. Oh, people are being measured, people are being weighed. You know, what I love about justice, this in a lot of decks, and I think in this one too, is justice sometimes also like it's almost like a trial or a test. Put yourself on this scale. How do you weigh? It's like Veruca Salt when she's singing, I want the world, I want the whole world, and she gets weighed and she gets judged, and she goes down the tube because she's a bad girl, and so it's kind of like that. It's like the scale sort of weigh that, So the quote for this card is saying, I hold the scales of light and dark. How much would you weigh if you placed yourself on this device? Now, justice doesn't always say that. The justice card doesn't always speak that, but that's what this is about. People are being weighed. It's already happening. You can see, and the cabinet nominees are being weighed and being found lacking and going down the chutes. So I think there's just more of that for sure. Also, this one's interesting because it's showing money and transactional things. It's like trying to buy your way into power, or buy your way into people's favor, and that's on display as well, and that will be weighed as well. And the Ace of Cups is kind of just like this overpouring, flowing love, goodness, like love wins out. Love wins the day. This darkness not gonna last. The darkness implodes on itself eventually. They think they can win, but they won't. The devil won't win. It's like all these negative things, these monetary transactions. Not saying monetary transactions are innately evil. That is, of course, not true. A beautiful balance of exchange of money and goods is a positive thing. It is a positive thing, this energy flow. And giving to the poor, I feel like, or you, if you need it, receiving money from a higher source, that's okay. But it's not about like selling your soul to the devil kind of energy. I was just watching a little clip from Quincy's Tavern on TikTok. I recommend him to everybody. He is just very charming and very interesting and such an amazing poet, and all around clever and fun to watch, and just an amazing person. And he was talking about the story about the 2 taps, why he does 2 taps. It's kind of a good luck symbol, but he told the story where it came from, so it's pretty neat. And but yeah, there is this the story has something to do with selling yourself to the devil. Now, there's no negative energy here. It's all very bright and beautiful, but the bright and beauty comes out after the dark has been exposed. So it's almost like implied here, that there could have been darkness, but not necessarily. Like, only if I'm reading it in a kind of a outer world sense. I feel like in the outer world sense, we're seeing the positive. We're seeing signs of things being righted and wrongs being, and justice working in our favor. And also I'm feeling like a social security thing from the Six of Pentacles and social programs. Social programs might be taking a hit, and so this is saying, don't worry, justice will keep that for us. Justice will balance all of this. Social programs like schools and education and all of those programs that we're used to, and that government takes care of in a very like low-key way, and not in a way to be oppressive, but in a way to be supportive of society. All of those things are going to stay in place, our healthcare and things like that. And so the Six of Pentacles is saying, I'm here to balance the scales again. A stable society is one where everyone needs to be, where everyone's needs are being met. Wow, you guys. Okay. So people are being weighed and decided, you know, are they worthy? And I feel like justices, you know, the justices as well, you know, and anybody in, you know, like the House or the Senate, you know, people who have to make decisions on things, they're weighing stuff and they're not going to let things go through. I think the military, same way. It's like we're not letting darkness and evil take over. And the Six of Pentacles again, I'm here to balance the scales. A stable society is one where everyone's needs are being met. And that's the kind of week you're going to feel this week, or the day. Like, I don't know why I'm keep seeing the whole week like that, but I feel like Tuesday's energy kind of carries over, because I don't think anything major outside of that energy, any different energy is going to happen for Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving's going to be peaceful in an outer world way. And Wednesday, I don't think much is going to be different either. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday feel like this. And Black Friday might feel different, so we'll look into that. But you know, I'm daily, so I'm a daily dust. So we'll see, you know, how the energies work from day to day. But anyway, I feel like this is hopeful, very hopeful, that justice comes to those who should get justice. You know, justice is not unfair. Justice is fair. So continue to be to rise above. Continue to make good choices. Listen to the angel and not the devil. Continue to be good to your fellow human or fairies, to your fellow souls, you know, your kindreds and others who may, you know, be good to everyone. And you already are. You're sparkles of light. You have great judgment out there, and it's not about judgment anymore. Anyway, it's about just being pure light right now. And there'll be enough time for fighting again, or for resisting or pushing ideas and agenda. But I think this is a week of pulling back and just being light energy, and justice will come. All right. Well, I hope you like that. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.